What if I told you the United States might be losing its closest allies in the Gulf, right in the middle of the 2026 Iran war? Missile strikes, rising oil tensions, and now, silence from key partners. So what's really going on, and is this the beginning of a major global power shift? The Middle East, a region where alliances shift like sand, and where today's strategy can become tomorrow's crisis. As the war between the United States and Iran unfolds in 2026, its consequences are not limited to battlefields. They are reshaping one of the most critical partnerships in global geopolitics: America's relationship with the Gulf countries. The conflict escalated rapidly after U.S. strikes on Iranian targets, triggering retaliation across the Gulf. Missiles hit key locations, including U.S. military infrastructure in Bahrain, while attacks on oil and gas facilities spread fear across the region. At the same time, the Strait of Hormuz, a lifeline for nearly 20% of the world's oil, was effectively shut down. Shipping collapsed, energy prices surged, and the Gulf turned into one of the most dangerous economic zones on Earth. For decades, Gulf nations relied on a simple equation: oil for security, energy for protection. But this war is exposing cracks in that arrangement. Many Gulf countries now feel that the United States acted unilaterally, without fully considering the risks to regional stability. Defense costs are skyrocketing. Missile defense systems are being stretched to their limits, and local economies are absorbing the shock of a war they didn't choose. Behind closed doors, frustration is growing.
Is not going to succumb to pressure. On the contrary, this pressure will backfire.
This conflict may push Gulf nations toward a major strategic shift. Instead of depending heavily on Washington, countries like Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Qatar may begin diversifying their alliances. We are already seeing signs of this: increased diplomatic engagement with Iran, stronger ties with China and other global powers, a push for regional security frameworks without U.S. dominance. Experts suggest Gulf states may reassess their security partnerships as the war exposes vulnerabilities in relying on a single superpower. The economic consequences could redefine global energy politics. Attacks on gas fields and oil infrastructure have already caused price spikes and supply disruptions worldwide. If instability continues, Gulf countries may seek new trade partners. Oil could become a geopolitical weapon again, and trust in US-led security of energy routes may decline. Even global institutions warn that prolonged energy shocks could slow economic growth worldwide. Perhaps the biggest consequence is psychological. The Gulf nations are realizing a hard truth: geography cannot be changed. Iran will always be their neighbor, but America is thousands of miles away. This could push the region toward a more independent, multipolar order, where diplomacy with rivals becomes more important than military alliances. The Iran war is not just a military conflict. It is a turning point, a moment that may redefine decades of U.S. Gulf relations, reshape global energy systems, and accelerate the emergence of a new geopolitical reality. The question is no longer whether relations will change, but how far that change will go. If you like the video, please consider to like and subscribe the channel.